Getting ready to use my shop-made mortising machine here. I built this from a plan featured in Shopnotes magazine, and I posted pictures of it before, but the video will give a little bit better chance to see what's going on here. So we've got a table here that has side-to-side travel, and I've got some stops. These are just window stops. I like to tighten them with pliers, make sure they're good and firm in place. So we got a stop on each side to set our table travel. The original plan called for this to slide back and forth on a keyway slot. That didn't work too well, so I replaced that idea with some drawer guides. So if we look up under here, we can see the drawer guides up under there. And then we've got some springs that hold this table down, and some metal or some aluminum channel here. This aluminum channel allows the table to be adjustable up and down. So as I turn this screw over here, there's a long screw right here. As I turn the screw, the table travels up and down, and the springs hold it down. So the table's going to come this way as it lowers. So that's going to change your adjustment up here. So first we get our table height correct. I want the slot in the middle of my stock here. So I've set my table height. Then I'm going to set my stops here for my table travel to route the dimensions of the slot that I want. And the carriage for the router here moves in and out with this handle over here. So we've just got a pivot point here and a bar that comes through here, and I've got drawer guides up under there again. Same thing, they had sort of a keyway slot for this thing to travel, and I didn't like that idea. It didn't operate very smoothly right from the get-go, so I did away with that. The router just sits in a router table insert. These knobs here hold a piece of wood behind here that keeps the insert in place. So to get the insert out, I would loosen these and then just of course remove the router and then pull the insert out that way. So you can't get the router and insert out without taking the router off. Let's see what else. On my table here I've got some hold downs. So back here there's a fence. See if I can get this. There's a piece of aluminum channel here, and then I routed out clearance for the bit here so the bit doesn't hit that. So I can butt my work up against the fence right here, clamp it down, position it where I need it, set my table travel, and then as I plunge the bit into the work, then I move the table travel back and forth, bring it a little more, move it back and forth some more to carve out my mortise. It's not a jig I use very often, but when I do, it's great. I love it. So up here I've got I made a little channel T-track here, and I've got a stop. So if I want to do repetitive cuts, I can butt my work up against the stop. So yeah, it's a great tool. I made it out of Baltic birch plywood. It's expensive, but it's good, sturdy, solid plywood, stays flat, nice tight cores. So that's it. Okay, I got my mortises made in the cutting board and the finger grab. So I'm just using a mortise and loose tenon method here. I'm going to glue the tenons into these, and when I go to put the finger grab on, only the center is going to get glue, and these on the end are going to be pinned with dowels. So when I put my tenons in here, and I put the finger grab on, I'm going to drill through the finger grab into the tenon, and then I'm going to take it back apart, and I'm going to elongate the hole slightly with a file, and then glue the center and pin the ends with dowels. The dowels will get just a little bit of glue where they protrude through the finger grab here, just to hold them in place, and then they'll be sanded flush. So the tenons, I just made these on the table saw, and I sanded them to fit. I make a little groove at the bandsaw. That helps the glue to escape. If the glue can't get out, hydraulic pressure could cause you some problems. I got enough room where glue will come out on the edges, but that's just the way I was taught to do it, is to make this little groove in the tenons here. So I'll get ready to glue them into the board here, and then I'll glue the finger grab on later. Okay, I'm getting ready to put these breadboard ends together. When I drill the holes through the tenons here, I want to apply clamping pressure, and to have clamps on there was a little bit awkward for the drill press, so I drilled these holes with the drill press, and I'm going to put it in place here, put it under clamping pressure, and then drill through the tenon with a hand drill. I've elongated the slots in the breadboard in here are longer, or the mortises are longer to allow for wood movement. I'm going to drill through the tenon, and I'm going to elongate the hole a little bit with a file to allow for wood movement. And these dowels are just going to get put in dry. I'm going to just add a little bit of glue to hold it in place here, but no glue where it goes through the tenon there. Okay, I'm getting ready to put this together here. I've elongated my holes with this rat tail file. As you file these, you want to kind of work back this way, so that when you have wood movement, this is just going to get drawn tighter to the board. If you're not careful about how you elongate these holes, this could loosen up. You can end up having a gap right here. Since this joint's going to be dry, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of glue on this little stick right here, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the back side of the hole to hold that dowel in place after I drive it through here. And then I'm going to glue my center tenon. You can glue 2 or 3 inches at the center. I'm just going to put glue on this tenon here, and then the mortise. I'm using Tight Bond 3 glue here. Okay. When I lined this up and drilled my holes, I made a witness mark so I can make sure I get this right back, aligned right where I had it. That looks pretty good. Apply some clamping pressure. I got way more clamps than I need here. I just left my setup from when I glued the board up. This makes it handy to Okay, I got my witness mark lined up. Got my dowels ready here. I'm always forgetting something. I can feel the dowel starting to come through, and I think I'm going to put just a little bit of glue right here. Just want to lock this dowel into place. That should be good. The dowel protruded through on the other side. We want to make sure that dowel protrudes through so we get a nice we can make it nice and flush. After this dries, we'll take the flush trim saw and do some sanding. Now it's starting to poke through. My little glue dabber here. Suppose I could use my glue brush, but kind of fussy about certain ways I do things. Alright, that's it. It's gonna be good.